And we're back.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Cavalry, everybody.
That's right.
How you doing, Johnny?
Oh,
Johnny's frazzled.
What's that?
Johnny's frazzled.
I'm frazzled. My stupid computer's being a turd. Ooh,
Now
look
you're
at that.
changing colors.
That's good. All right. Welcome to the Cavalry, folks. Good to have you here. Good to listen.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Can I start out by telling you about the car?
Please.
Car talk on the Cavalry.
More car talk, please.
As you guys know, we've got a Honda Odyssey, and we got it from CarMax. I said no way to the Carvana people. Canceled it. Got the car from the CarMax. Everything's so good. And then I'm driving. Stereo just goes out. Screen blank. A thing pops up. Tuner not connected. No audio connection. I was like, what is this shit? So I have to turn off the car, open the door so the car shuts off, restart it, and then it comes back. It happened a couple times, and we've had the car a week. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't. So I took it to Honda, just some Honda dealership, and said, hey, I want you to fix all the open recalls, because there's a couple open recalls that never got adjusted. And one of them was this cable that is for the, infotainment system, whatever. So that got fixed today. So supposedly.
Okay. But then you don't have to pay for it because it's a recall?
Exactly.
Okay. You know what's crazy is, see, you're a good consumer because you even know about open recall. Like, I wouldn't have even known that that's a thing,
Yeah. When
they recall products that I have, I don't think I've ever sent them in.
I have not either, because it never matters. But if it's a car and it says the car fuel pump may, I mean, that you would, if you got an email that was like, hey, your Prius.
Yeah. They're talking about the other 2006 Prius. They don't know mine. Mine is fine.
That's right. Well, that's the thing, is like, if you had just bought it last week, you might, right?
Like,
because you've had it for 30 years. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to give you a compliment, because I'm saying you knew that you could just go to a Honda dealership with a Honda and say, fix all the open recalls, and you knew they would do that for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have known that.
Oh, I see.
And well, I would have thought you needed like a rebate card, or like some sort of note from the president of the company or something, or what I mean? Like, I would think it's way harder than that.
Well, to be fair, and to give you credit, I only know because it's happened to me, where I'll get an email and I'll be like, you have this car, it's registered in your name, these are the recalls, the dealership will take care of it for free. And then when I looked up this car, with CarMax and Carvana, I saw that it has open recalls. And so I just figure, well, I never got an email, but it's just because it hasn't been processed.
I'm going to try it yet. I'm just going to take my Prius to the Toyota dealership, fix all the recalls and just see what they do.
Well, I can just send you a website. You put the VIN in, and you can look up if there's any recall. I mean, I knew there were.
Like, if I had one of these Cybertruck, did you read the Cybertrucks? Like, the walls are falling off of them, or the doors are falling off because the glue or something.
Oh no,
they recall them. But I would go, I'm not taking. What are the odds my door, is really going to fly off? You know what I mean? So they used the wrong glue, and it happened to like a couple of them. But
yeah,
I would just wait until it happened.
You know what? To prove that you're correct in your thinking, when we got our Ford Escape, it had some recall, and I took it in. I was like, yeah, I was told to bring this in. The guy opened the door and looked at it. He's like, yeah, no, yours is fine. It's usually like the ones they're talking about have a thing here.
Yeah.
It's not affecting yours.
Exactly.
So you're right.
Give me that guy. It totally was a problem. He just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So the Odyssey, you're not mad yet.
I'm not mad yet.
You're not mad yet. You seem like you're pre-mad, like you're
I
ready to get mad.
well, I don't like dealing when you get a new car, you don't want to have to take it into the shop. I had an appointment today for Honda and then tomorrow for CarMax to fix the audio thing because I didn't realize the audio thing was one of the recalls. And
I will say, since we started this podcast, you have bought and dealt with a lot of cars. And we've just been rocking the same old Prius, this entire podcast.
Wait a minute. Did I get my Prius while we were recording this? This is the third car. This is the third car.
It's your third car. You got and sold the Prius. We talked all about it. I talked you into it, I think. You were like, the Prius. I was like, oh, they're great. And then I wasn't thinking you live in Madison, Wisconsin, where you're going to have to drive in the snow all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've had a lot of turnover.
I know, and I hate buying new cars. I mean, I just hate it. I mean, it's nice now that we have them, but like now I have a car payment for 3 years.
I know. I hate all purchases. I've never been like satisfied with a purchase in my life.
I took your advice and I threw a computer purchase onto the.
Did you buy
that in? I don't have it yet, but I ordered it. It should be here, in a week from today or tomorrow.
Did you get the refurbished?
No. I don't. No.
What a snob.
New and shiny. I got the refurbished Honda Odyssey. I'm going to get a brand new Mac.
Probably who needs a new computer is my wife. Hers was like, she's like, I don't feel like I'm good with technology, but I feel like she was born we're the same age, but it seems like she was born in 1937. The way she deals with
really?
computers. Like she'll just like back away from it. Like, it'll be all frozen and she'll just back. And then you go, she's like, can you do something? I don't know. It's doing this. It's freezing up. Or like today, her internet wasn't working. And, and mine was where, I'm in the room next door. I'm like, no, the internet's fine. Usually she would like try to go to a website, like her email, and it would get an error message on Safari or whatever.
Huh.
So like, all right, let me look at this. And it turns out like her date and time were wrong. Like somehow the computer got on like to 3 years ago in December. I was like, how is that even? What virus is just sending you back in time?
Has she not used her computer in a while?
No, she uses it every day.
That's weird.
And then she'll get she'll get pop-ups. Like I was like, I didn't even know that was possible on a Mac, but she'll get like things like, virus stuff, and she just rolls with it. She's always at capacity for memory. Just it's always like off. And then every inch of her desktop is covered in
just documents.
Documents.
Does she have? And she has a MacBook, right?
Yeah, she has like my old one.
Yeah.
So it's not a Pro. I think it's just a MacBook. It's like a little bigger and heavier.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, what she needs to do, I was like, we don't need a new computer. I was like, there's got to be like places that just take them and like
start them over,
or just like go. I put all your files are still here, but like I got rid of all the other shit on here that's like slowing it down. There's got to be somebody.
There 100% is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Honda dealership.
Do you think you'll take? Do you think you'll take the computer to one of these places?
No. I will if it gets to the point where she's where we're like we should get a new computer. Before I buy a new computer, I would take this. But I mean, she's the one who has to deal with it every day, so I'm like, it's not in front of me. If that was my computer, I would have taken it in by now.
Does she use it to do stuff? Like, does she need these files, or does she just kind of use it as an online browser?
No, she writes. Mostly, she's like uses it for like Final Draft and then writing for work and stuff. And then there's like, I think all the programs she writes in for like the real estate companies. It's like software online. So like she goes onto websites and then so those are the main things.
I just wonder if she could just take the files she knows she needs, put them on a hard drive, an external hard drive, and then just
wipe the whole thing.
Flush. Yeah. Look up online how to rewipe your computer.
You probably could do that.
Yeah. Because Geek Squad would charge a ton for it.
They would charge a lot for that. That seems like a cheap thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
you can't go to Geek Squad. You got to go to like the guy. See, Portland has a lot of these places where it's just like computer store. Like it's just,
okay.
you know what I mean? Like LA had those too.
Yeah.
iPhone repair, but they'd spell it like PIEFONE, so they didn't get sued by Apple.
I would trust them to fix my computer, but I would never trust them to buy a computer from them.
Right.
It's just like, I don't even know if it's a real Mac.
They're amazing at like fixing your like screen, like if you break your screen or something. I remember I got scared off one time. Like I went to one of those mall kiosks and I was like, "Hey, my screen broke. Can you fix it?" And they're like, "Yeah, but just so you know, technically it's not going to be up to the warranty standards of the iPhone." I was like, "Oh no, oh my god, I can't do that." So then I went into the Apple store and I was going to have them do it, and it was like 10 times. I was like, basically they were like telling me just buy a new iPhone.
Yeah.
I went right back to I went to like an even shadier place, and they're like amazing. 10 minutes, brand new screen, looks amazing. You'd never know the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. What's the lesson there?
The lesson is to trust people who aren't associated with the big companies, but do it every day.
If there's one thing we want you to take away from the Cavalry,
like comedians, you should hire comedians. Maybe they're not from like a big show you've heard of.
Yeah.
But if they've been doing it out every day for a long time,
they know what they're doing.
As good.
Yep.
Just because you haven't heard of them doesn't mean they don't know what they're doing. That's a better way to say it.
And they need you more than
and they definitely need. And just because they're charging less doesn't mean they're any less good. And they definitely need your business.
Oh man, that should be our tagline.
I said so many words there. I don't even. We need your business.
Yeah.
Cavalry, we need your business.
Hey, what happened with the bracket? I emailed you after we got off 2 weeks ago. Did you get the bracket? Are we doing a Cavalry bracket? Did you post about it?
Are you not checking it? You didn't send it to anybody.
I thought I sent it to you.
You have to send it to more people, so more people will join. I sent it. I posted it, and then we got 2 more people to join.
Oh,
Jono and my friend Paige.
Did I fuck up and like name my bracket the Cavalry bracket? But that
you're on there. Your Johnny is on there. I think you were in first place somehow.
Oh shit! That's what I'm talking about, son.
In fact, why don't I look it up right now and see who's winning?
Oh my god!
There's only 4 of us in the contest, so you have a real good shot at it.
This is what happens when we interact with the crowd, with the fans.
We created a bracket before we ever talked about it on the show, so we really didn't give people much of a chance.
Oh, okay. So these are just the 2 people that saw your post.
Yeah, I'm 3rd right now.
Who do you have going all the way?
Dude,
listen to me.
Yeah, you're first place. I'm last.
I have going all the way.
Me and Paige are tied for last. Jono's second, and you're first. You have Duke going all the way. Did you not fill out your bracket? Did you let the computer do it?
No, I did, but I'm in like 2 other brackets too.
And you picked different people to win it all?
Yeah, I got Florida in the one that I've been paying attention to. And then I think I'm a big T. Who's the big T? A big orange T?
Tennessee.
I got them in the husband friends bracket.
You've got the husband friends bracket. You've got
my virtual golf buddies.
Oh yeah. We can't talk shit about them. You've got Duke in this one.
See, everyone's got Duke in all the brackets. I didn't want to do Duke.
I just picked Duke because they have the one player I've heard of, this Cooper Flag
guy. Well, you know what? Hey, I'm in first place.
You're in first place.
You know, you could take a page out of my book, Andrew.
I should take a page out of your book.
When it comes to sports.
I could take a page out of your book because you're not reading it, so you wouldn't know it's missing.
Hey. Speaking of reading books.
Oh, don't tell me you started reading.
I did not start reading Frankenstein. Did I tell you my plan? Did I text you
You
that I was going
texted
to
me
read
that
it
you're
with
gonna.
Edie?
Oh, with Edie, because it's funny. You texted me, and it's always alarming when you text me about things that are non-cavalry related. Throws me out of my
Yeah.
routine. You just go, "What about Frankenstein?" And it's like, I don't know. He's scary. Is he around? Did he
I
freak you out?
figured you knew. It was
Did you
close
have
enough after our recording.
Did you have a bad dream? But like I didn't. It did take me a while because I don't think of Frankenstein as a book. First
Oh,
thing I think of
a
is
classic.
Frankenstein as like a character,
Sure.
and then you're like, okay, then the movie, and then the book is third. But I do think I read it in high school, or was at least supposed to have read it.
Yeah. I know I read it in either 7th or 8th grade, but I don't know that I would have understood it because we talk about it every day
Yeah.
while we're reading it. So maybe that was just spelled out to me. So, and I started, and then Erin got it from the library because I mentioned it to her, and she was like, "All right, well, if you and Edie want to read it, then I'll just get it from the library." And I'll tell you, I picked it because I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of pages, but the print's pretty small.
Oh, that's how they get you.
I know, very frustrating. So we'll see. We'll see.
Well, sorry, my microphone is.
That's all right.
You know what's funny? It's like Frankenstein is it's so Dracula. Dracula's also a literary character. Is that the
Yep.
first place
Bram
Dracula showed
Stoker.
up? Okay, because those are. It's weird to think like when those guys like who wrote Frankenstein?
Mary Shelley.
Shelley. Okay, so it seems like when Shelley wrote Frankenstein, it would be mind blowing to them probably for them to then be now and be around Halloween and then just see what a cartoonish character
Yeah.
become. You think you write this transformative work of fiction that's going to be, you think you're writing like something there's nobody dresses up like people from Shakespeare, every to get candy. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. They just do it at the festivals.
Right. Yeah. So, but like Frankenstein's basically the same thing as like
Dracula.
or Dracula, but then like a goblin or like
Yeah.
you know what
Or
I
a
mean?
mummy.
A ghost or a monkey or like uh Mater from Cars. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the level that it's just hilarious when you think about it. Like really when you see a Frankenstein, you're like, this is a great Frankenstein monster or whatever. This is
Yeah.
a great literary character people have dressed up as and walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you think she'd be like, "Oh, you've made a mockery of my."
Yes, I think
I
they would.
think, but she probably wouldn't. Wasn't it like, oh, it was respected as it was, it changed writing or whatever. Very successful, and then over time is like, oh, now it's a cereal.
Yeah, Frankenberries. Yeah, I think she would think like that sucks.
Well, that's because she's dead.
Well,
If
yeah.
she was alive, she'd be like, oh my god, what a paycheck!
What-
Cha-ching.
You think? Yeah. Do you think she's getting? Do you think the estate of Mary Shelley gets paid off of Frankenberries?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Her first draft she submitted anonymously.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at you! Look at you knowing all this Frankenstein trivia.
I know. Well, I'm not going to start reading a book without, finding out if there's some fucking reason I shouldn't waste my time. So I did a
Oh,
little bit of research.
you do a little research on the author to see if they're like a really bad person.
Well, no, there's two. There's like the 1818 draft, or there's the 1831 when it was republished. She like did edits like 15 years later. She changed a few things, and I never knew that. And I was like, well, "What's the difference?" So I was looking up the differences, and I discovered when she first wrote it, she like submitted it anonymously, and so there's changes.
The first one, Frankenstein was more like the Herman Munster character.
Yeah, exactly. And then she
Yeah,
changed it.
he'd do really dumb stuff, and then his wife would get mad at him, and then it
It was
changed.
a comedy. Yeah.
Serious. Uh, yeah.
So I'll let you know. We'll start it and we'll see if it sticks.
Let me know. You know,
Yeah.
I'm slowing down. I have not read at all. Ginger is on spring break starting today, so this week, and so there's just no reading. And I've been home. I read like almost not at all when I'm home. The only reading happens is when I'm on the road.
Okay.
I
So
don't know.
we read the same amount when we're home,
Yeah,
but you read more when we're away.
I am not in any judgment of you with 3 kids. I mean, when would you read?
I don't.
Yeah.
You know when I read? You know when I read is when we go to bed early enough to where Duncan's still up and he can see into our door. And Aaron's
you
like,
have to
read. He needs to see us reading.
Yeah. It's
So
performative. It's performative reading.
So I'll open my book and I'll have my phone in the book.
Right. Your book's upside down. It just says like it's just like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
I'm just reading about animals that start with M. Go to bed.
Stay out of my room.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to be on your phone all the time, I will say. And Ginger's at the age too where she calls us out.
Yeah, it's the worst feeling,
There's
isn't
no
it?
worst feeling in the world when your kid's like, get off your phone. You're like, oh, just stab me in the heart, you judgmental.
It's like one of those. It's like one of those Instagram reels, except it's in real life. You know those act outs where they're like, "Mommy, you're on your phone all the time," but then it like really is.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh. Right in the heart.
Right in the heart. My brother told me my brother's a teacher. He went to some conference and he said it was basically all about how bad phones are for kids, like having a phone. And he was like, "What you need to do," and I was like, "Yeah, I agree. I hope they ban them from schools and stuff. Like, I don't want my kid to have phone at school. You know, I don't even want her to have a phone, really,
right,
or social media at the very least." And then he goes, "But what you have to do, because what happens is you can go ahead and say, I don't want my kid to have a phone, but she's going to turn an age, and then all her friends are going to get a phone.
Yeah,
and the pressure is going to come on like that, and then she's going to feel left out, and it'll be.
You got to talk to the parents.
You got it. He's like, He's like, I'm going to send you this literature, and you got to spread it around all your parents' friends. And you guys basically got to make like a pact. Like no one's going to cave.
Yeah, it's too. See, for us, it's already too late. Like we are like, sorry, Edie, it's gonna suck, but Edie's got one friend that has an iPhone 16, I think.
Oh my god!
And then Duncan has a friend that has an iPhone 16, and they both just each have a Gizmo watch, that they can call certain contacts we have set up and text and call us. But like,
you aren't
caving, huh?
You aren't caving.
We're not caving. We don't want to get them a phone.
Good, that's good.
Yeah.
But do they get on your case about it? Are they mad about it?
Yeah, no, I mean they're I think they know we are, yes, they've asked and they've said things, but they don't push it because they know, they aren't doing it.
You should just tell them like, hey, your friends who have phones, they're gonna be so fucked up when they get older.
Yeah, they're gonna get fucked. They're gonna have this.
They're not gonna be able to make eye contact. They're gonna be weird and isolated and sad and depressed.
Yeah, and you're gonna be better than them.
You're gonna be so much better than them. That's good parenting.
I mean, I wouldn't mind them having a phone. But there's no way you can prevent. Once they have a phone, they have the internet, they have social media. You can't police that if they have a phone. Plus, my kids are more likely lose or break a phone than they would a watch.
The guy, I was talking to some guy who's like, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like they have these like kid phones that are supposedly locked. But they're like they jailbreak them immediately because they crowdsource it. I mean, you go to school and everybody has the kid phone, and if one kid figures anything out, the word gets around, and then the secret's out. So all it takes is one kid to get lucky and figure out a way around it.
Yeah,
I think you're right. No phones. The watch is
way
good
to do it.
And then can you track them on the watch? Like, do you know where they are?
Yeah, you can. The battery life on them is not great, but yeah, I mean, you just charge it every night. But yeah, you can track them with the watch, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy. Can you imagine if you had been tracked?
I
Like
don't think, I mean,
how different your
yeah, I
behavior would
can. My parents would have been, wow, we've raised a nerd.
have been? You didn't do anything wrong in high school?
Yeah, I would sneak out and go to the grocery store. I told you that. Oh no, is Johnny doing drugs? No, we don't care. He just goes to Baker's and gets popsicles.
Oh no, he's this degenerate is hanging out in the parking lot doing some sort of he's looking at popsicle. Okay. You just
All
have
right, what about you?
your hood over. And no, I would have gotten in big trouble. I mean, if I had been tracked, because I drank in high school and stuff, and went to parties and stuff I wasn't supposed, and lied
Yeah.
about my whereabouts all the time. Starting like
Yeah.
my junior year, I'd say is when, if I had been tracked, I would have
Trouble.
been in trouble. Like it would have changed my behavior.
Oh,
You know
well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
good, right?
Well, in a way, yeah. But then, like, also then you'd be kind of sad. You go, well, then I wouldn't have had whatever
Yeah.
experience
Yeah,
led.
life experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So I do wonder the tracking thing, but like,
Well, to be fair, I've never, I almost never track them. I think I've never tracked Edie. Duncan, I've tracked if he's not home and he should be. And I'm like, where the hell is he?
yeah,
But other than that, I've never even bothered to look.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, and they could easily trick you. That's the other thing. Like if you're gonna sneak out of your room
just
and
leave
go
the
to a
watch.
party, you'd leave your watch there.
Yeah.
You'd be
Which
fun.
Duncan does half the days anyway.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So I guess it's not that crazy.
Uh, well, should we read the topic from our listener?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
All right, let me scroll back. I don't think I ever read it without you.
No, you did not.
Okay. Oh boy. Let me find it. Okay, here we go. This is the number one podcast that tackles the hard issues like this
Yeah,
one. This is Kyle McClure, everybody.
of course.
Super fan. I don't think music directors are really needed. Okay. Do
Oh, I
bands
like
and
it.
orchestras really need a guy waving a little stick
I love
around?
it. This is a great topic. This
Hardly.
is classic Cavalry backup material.
Yes.
Unless I didn't think of it myself.
Kyle gets it. Hardly anyone looks at the guy because they are following their music in front of their faces. I think, if anything, he can get up and tell the band what song to play, but then he could go sit down and not block people's view. Believe me, sounds like he wrote this on the drive home from a
And he just had
front row seat.
he had a way too close seat. He's like, sit down in front.
I know who will help me with this issue, the Cavalry. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I played in junior high band and we never paid attention to our director. I was also the worst saxophone player in our whole band, and his directing didn't help me at all. I'll never forget the day in class when he threw his music stand across the room and stormed out of class.
This is amazing.
Wow. The same goes for music leaders at church. We don't need that guy waving his arms around either. There you go, folks. Kyle, this is not going to take long.
No, back him up 100%. And it's such a good point. Not only are they reading their own music, but they can hear.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Music's what you hear it. You don't have to see the guy. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's a good point.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah. If it's not like one guy's going to be playing slower because he didn't realize everyone else is up a.
Right. You can hear it. But then the only thing is, like, you think the director, the conductor is the word that
Yes.
the conductor is ever like to see if they're paying attention, like, you know how they could hold them and wait and then play like the last note or something. I wonder if they ever test them to see if they're following along, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ego-wise.
Yeah. Could be. I feel like that would be on him, though. Like if he tests them and they fail, it's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah, I love it.
It's an ego move.
Because you know why a conductor is not really needed? Because when you get in the real world of like gig music, like a wedding band,
Yeah.
or you know what I mean, like where it's down to like how much money are we going to pay and how much.
Yeah.
The wedding band, you never have a conductor. When you're not splitting that between the
Nope.
guitarist and the drummer and a guy who's going to stand up there and wave a stick around. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Not
No.
adding it. I think it's I think he's right. It's like it sells the orchestra a little bit because usually he got the like crazy hair or something, and he's sweating and he's waving it around. And
you know, I bet I could conduct an orchestra, and it would sound just as good.
You got the hair, and you're tall. You'd be great. You'd block everybody's view. You're super tall.
Yep.
You got long arms, you know?
And I have a long, skinny wiener.
You don't even need the stick.
You're right. I would just use my penis.
Yeah, big white stick.
Yeah, big Caucasian stick. But the thing is, I would just follow the music. Like, you know, I would do the motions, but I wouldn't be leading. I would be following. You know, they're going.
Just imagine a real conductor listening to this, how enraged they're getting. Like, because they, even if we're right.
Do they even make conductors anymore?
Obviously. Are they making conductors? When's the last time? We would never encounter one because we're not symphony types.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to the symphony? Was it been a week, 2 weeks?
God. Yeah, you know what? It's been a while.
It's been a while for you. It's been a while for me.
Yeah.
Well, great topic.
Great topic, Kyle. Thank you. And remember, anyone, if you leave a 5-star review with your topic within, I don't know when this one was dated, but we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
This is from February 19th. So.
Wow, we're bad at this.
No, it's their fault, Andrew.
Oh, right.
It's their fault.
I forgot.
They didn't do it enough. What's your topic? You did something?
You know what? I do have a topic, and you know what? It kind of goes with what we were talking about before, so I should just do it now.
Oh, you got a topic about skinny wieners. Let's hear it.
I think the parents now who are like anti-screen time, so like they do no screens.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the hardest working parents.
Oh God.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, that's not true, Andrew, because 40 years ago, there were no screen, you know, there were TVs, but there were no like devices to distract their kids. But those parents didn't care.
That's true.
So, like, they would just go, don't talk to me. Or like, they're not, now you're expected to entertain your kid all the time. So if you're not ever using a screen, you're playing, you're getting down on your hands and knees, you're singing songs, you're reading books, you're doing something.
Yeah, and you got to plan the stuff you're doing ahead of time.
Parents 100 years ago, yeah, they had no screens. They also had no patience. They're just like, I got to go out in the woods to get some, I don't know, I can't play with you, you dumbass. Go play with yourself, you know?
Right, and they could afford to do that because they had no accountability either.
Right.
You're a bad parent today, it'll get
everyone's talking.
Everyone will know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually think like we do screens, you know, but I think like sometimes I think, what if we never did? What if we were one of those families like no TV, no movies, nothing, ever? I mean, like I would just be playing with my kid all the time.
Yeah, then you would be a weirdo.
Which sounds great to people who don't have kids. Playing with your kid is really fun, and then you hit like a wall, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't do this anymore." And then time goes by, and then you want to do it again.
Yeah,
there is a point.
We love, just for the record, we love hanging out with our children.
I love hanging out with my children. My child.
Yeah.
One child.
Yep.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like more is expected of you as a parent now to
for sure
entertain your kids.
Yep.
Like, I don't remember my dad, you know, doing as like all like he was a great dad, but I don't remember him like playing with me as much.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
getting down on his hands and knees and stuff. I don't remember that.
Yeah. See, I
Like
do. I
crawling
do
through,
remember that,
crawling
but that
through
makes me feel like a bad person because I don't do that. So I'm like, well, I can't compete with because my dad would work.
yeah.
I don't know where he got the energy, but he would play with us, and he had 7 kids.
Wow,
So he's not. That's just not an attainable. That's just ridiculous.
that is amazing.
So
I get so tired, and I have one kid.
yeah,
I think you get trained like an athlete or something. You know, everyone gets acclimated to their life.
yeah,
You know how like rich people can be broke, like they get so much money, they have so much income, but then they just find a way to always spend at the
yep,
level that they're. I think it's the same thing with energy, right? Like you feel like your life is what it is, and then you have enough energy, just enough to deal with that.
yep.
But if like
You're
someone
so right.
like if someone sent me to war and then made me take care of like 9 children and do all this stuff, somehow if you just wanted to, you would just eventually get acclimated to it and you'd be able to handle it.
Yeah, yeah. Just because you'd have to.
Right, yeah, you have no choice.
Yeah. See, but you and we have these iPads and these phones and these
Yes, I
screens.
know, that's what I'm saying. So like
Yeah.
it's okay to use. I think it's okay to use them. You know what I mean?
I
I think
think it's healthy to use them.
I watch TV. That's what I always think.
Yeah.
And I talk about all that. We watch cartoons. We watch TV. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not like we're putting her on these. She's not in the metaverse or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like I played Nintendo more than my kids could if they tried.
Well, I was telling that to my brother. I was like, we played outside a lot, but we had Nintendo growing up, and like if my mom hadn't like put limits on it, we would not have gone outside.
Right.
Like we were as addicted to video games as any of these kids.
Yeah.
They just could take it away easier. They could just go, no, turn it off, and it was one TV, one
Yep.
plug, one physical game. It's not like these kids like somebody's got a Switch or someone's got games on their phone, or you know what I mean. Like there's so
Yeah.
many other ways to get around.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. All
I
right.
agree. I back you up. I back you up for sure.
That's funny. What do you need backup on?
All right, this is what I need backup on. So movies, old movies coming back to the theater. Oh, it's Avatar's 20-year anniversary.
Oh
It's
yeah,
coming back to that. Nope. Once your run is done,
yeah.
you're done. None of
Yeah.
this horse shit. The Revenge of the Sith is coming back. Episode 3 of the Star Wars prequels. Are you fucking kidding me?
They're so desperate, dude.
Give me a break. I mean, make new movies to put in the theaters. Just
But that's
fuck
the
it.
problem is no one's going to see the new movies. I think
Well,
that's the issue.
hey,
But it's like I don't think like I feel for these movie theaters, I get it. It's a tough business. It's probably like a dying business.
yeah,
Probably headed for a world where there's like a few art house movie theaters in cities,
yeah.
and then maybe like one giant megaplex in the suburbs of wherever you live, and that's it.
It's going to become a novelty thing where like the movie theater isn't where movies come out anymore.
It's going to be like drive-in
streaming, and then it's like, oh, we could go see a movie at a movie theater like in the olden days.
Right. It's going to be just like drive-ins.
Yes.
They're the same thing. And it's like just a nostalgia thing. They have like the second run movies.
Yeah.
So I feel for them. I get it. They're trying whatever, but you're right. It's like pathetic, Especially Revenge of the Sith. I mean, that was bad. Everyone said that was bad. What do you mean the anniversary?
I mean, it's these movies. No one's talking about Revenge of the Sith. It's not like, oh, they signed petitions. Finally, we made. It's like,
Yeah,
no, it's just, oh, it's been 20 years or whatever.
it's the anniversary
Nobody
of
gives a shit.
Operation Dumbo Drop. They're gonna re-release it on the original 55 millimeter.
Yeah.
That's the movie theater we got. Of course, it's Portland. We have a lot of these cool guy movie theaters, and we got one right by our house. It's like insufferably cool.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Theater, and we always like, we gotta support this place. We gotta go, and we just never do. And but they're always like telling you what millimeter the film is in. So like, hey, we have what was the movie? The Brutalist in 155 millimeter. Man, I can tell you right now, nobody gives a shit how many millimeters are in the film. Just play the goddamn movie up on the screen. Oh, but the millimeter film. Nope. That is for you. There is one theater operator nerd in there that cares, and nobody else.
He's jacking off on all over his face as he loads into cartridge.
It's the real film. Oh, it's so filmy.
Oh god, 160 millimeters. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, what are you gonna do? How do you save movie theaters?
How do you save them? It's
you
just can't.
They put booze in them. That was their big idea.
Yep.
And then that used to be cool. Like it used to be like, ooh, there's a bar. I remember at the ArcLight in Hollywood. That was the first one that I ever saw. And they did have like a cool bar. It wasn't just like we serve. Now they just like, oh, pouring beers next to
the soda.
Like, oh,
yeah,
it was like interesting.
Yeah,
they tried that. They tried the recliner seats, the rumble seats, 3D. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like some things you just can't put the genie back in the bottle. I mean, people are like, they have to. Here's what they have to do: is they have to, and it'll never happen because it will cost them money. They have to release movies in the theater, and they have to say, okay, after this movie is done, it is not coming out streaming for 1 year. You will never see this. You will not see this movie again for a year. And, that's how they could make people go out to the theater, and they won't, because they'll be like, well, we could say that, but then let's just.
Because it used to be
to make money.
Yeah. Like, remember, like, whatever, like the mega hits, like Titanic or whatever would come out. And like, they would just keep it. If people were still going, they would just keep it in theaters. There was no like 2 weeks and then it's out on DVD. It's like, it would just keep running, and it wasn't going to be out on DVD until the last movie theater was like done showing.
Right. Yeah. That's the only way, and it would not.
Right. You have to have like a blackout.
Yeah.
And then you could tell them, you could make it like this, just to like encourage people. Like, all right, for like people who are real fans of the movie, go, if we hit this many people to see the movie in theaters, then the streaming will come out
sooner.
But the longer, when it's not going to come out, it'll be a year, unless if none of you see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hold them hostage. You force them to come.
Oh, I like that.
But then if your movie sucks, it doesn't make any sense because nobody even wants to see it on streaming. So you're just like leaving it. That doesn't make any sense.
That's a good point.
I think it's done. I think it's dead. Movie theaters.
It's going to become. It'll still be there, but it won't be what it was.
You know what they're going to do there? Stand-up comedy.
They already do.
Stand-up comedy. We're just like cockroaches. We fill the voids.
Yeah.
Of all these dying businesses. Hey, what if we had a comedy show? What if we had a comedy show?
You ever do Tampa Side Splitters?
Movie theater?
Yep.
Well, of course. Never done that, but I've done a lot of Jason Love gigs.
Yeah. Jason Love.
I've done movie theater gigs where it's still an operational movie theater. So it's like,
all right.
It's like, Transformers 13 or whatever.
And you can hear the movie next to you.
Like, you're bombing next to the bombing,
Yeah. People are just sitting there like, wow, sounds a lot exciting in one theater over.
I mean, they're not very soundproof.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm backing you up.
Nice.
I'm backing you up.
Nice.
Don't. But what are you saying? You're saying just just make new movies.
I'm saying make new movies. Stop putting old movies that no one's asking for back in the theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
This anniversary horse shit, it's a money grab and it's just taking up space. I mean, I guess there's plenty of space since movies are just coming straight out to
Maybe
stream.
that's it. They literally just don't have enough. They're like, what are we going to put on theater 6?
Yeah.
Screen number 10. What do we got? Sound of Music?
Yeah. Well, it is Operation Dumbo Drop's anniversary. Yeah.
What's the worst movie you ever saw in theaters?
Oh God. Worst movie ever. That's a great question.
I saw the Tom Hanks movie where he has a weird accent. Do you remember that?
Is it Lady Killers?
No. That one's bad, but I didn't see that in theaters. What was
I never saw that one. I heard that was actually good.
Lady Killers is all right.
What is the one you're talking about?
I gotta Google it now.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah, kind of. It's like a romantic comedy.
It's not The Terminal.
Oh, Larry Crown. You ever see Larry Crown?
Oh no, is that who's the girl in that?
Julia Roberts is in it too.
Roberts.
And
is it terrible?
yeah, it's got 36% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's so bad, dude. My buddy Mike Cummings walked out. I went to see it with Mike Cummings.
You and Mike, you guys went and saw.
We two of us went and saw Larry Crown together.
What I
used to see.
Expecting.
I used to see a lot of. Well, it was Tom Hanks. We were just like, oh no, we didn't even like look into it that much. I think it was like, oh, it's a Tom Hanks movie. We'll go see it. And we used to go see like so many movies, you know. And I was single in Seattle doing comedy. If I didn't have a show and then you have your days free, I was like, I used to see tons of movies. Now I just never. Even when I'm on the road now, I think I talked about this, but like even when I'm on the road now and I'm by myself and I'm by a movie theater, it just doesn't hit me the same way. Like it doesn't call me. You know what I mean? It has to be something I want to see like really bad.
Yeah.
Like what was the Bob Dylan one with Timothy Chalamet?
Complete unknown. I didn't see that. Did you see it?
No, and I was like, oh, that's one I could see, you know, it's Bob Dylan. I don't know a lot about Bob Dylan, so I was like, maybe I'll learn something about him. And I was at this hotel, and the theater was right next door, and they had like 15 showings all day. I just couldn't get up to go do it.
Well, it doesn't help that it's probably another 3-hour movie, 2.5-hour movie.
That's the other thing. They got to shorten them
up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm excited for. Next movie I'm excited for is the Superman movie in June or July. James Gunn Superman.
Woo! Okay, why? I mean, what else can they explore with Superman?
What else can they? What?
He can fly, and he can beat the shit out of everybody else. Like, what is the story gonna be? Oh, and then maybe they'll find some kryptonite, and that'll work for a little bit. But then Superman will figure out a way to get over that, and then he'll beat him up anyway.
This is not. If someone was like, "Hey, man, tonight I'm gonna suck your penis," would you be like, "Nah, you know what? I had it done. Okay, what are you gonna do that hasn't been done before?" You know, it's.
I just don't understand. Like,
I'll probably watch Superman 1 a couple times before this new Superman comes out.
Just Superman seems so boring to me.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
You know, boring people find Superman boring. That's what I know.
But like the other superheroes all have like they're more vulnerable. So it's like you can it's kind of, even if you don't like superhero movies, you can be like, well, it's kind of interesting to see how Batman would figure this out, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just walk through the brick wall.
I love Batman. I love Spider-Man. I love Iron Man. They're great.
I feel like someone must have this bit, but like when they were inventing Superman, like when they got to the frozen breath, did anybody go, really? He's going to be able to freeze people with his breath too? Like, isn't it enough that he has laser eyes, he's impenetrable to bullets,
Yeah.
and he can fly, and he's fast enough to turn the world back in time? Isn't that enough? He also needs to freeze people with his breath.
When does he do that?
I don't know. In the Superman movies, he uses his frozen breath for sure.
Andrew,
Don't
he
make me
uses
Google it.
his frozen breath to freeze a lake, which he lifts up and carries over the
Right.
nuclear power plant that's on fire to put out the fire. He doesn't freeze people with his breath. That's something a bad guy would do.
I stand corrected. Superman does not freeze people, but he has freezing powers. is my
He
point.
could, but he never would.
Okay, but
That's
he
his
has.
weakness. He cares too much. That's the drama. Is that these bad guys are like, he cares about these people, so they can hurt these people that don't have superpowers, and he can't save them all.
I see.
You really need it. You really need to read. You need to watch Superman 1, 2, and 3.
I had the comic. I was not a comic book guy, but somehow you go and you realize comic books are a thing, and you try it on.
Yeah.
As a personality. So I went to, there was some age I started going to comic book stores wherever, and I bought the Superman Dies, the big fat.
Yeah.
You must be familiar with it, the one where he gets killed.
Yeah.
And I read that like a bunch of times. But see, that's interesting because Superman dies.
Yeah.
It had stakes.
Yeah.
See, the good Superman movie, he should die in the end.
Well, let's see. Yeah, he dies in Superman versus Batman, I think.
Yeah. And then they bring him back immediately.
Yeah, brought him back in the next movie. I mean, come on, Superman.
Again, no stakes.
Do you know how complicated it was for them to bring him back, though?
Yeah, I know. They needed a computer guy.
Yeah, they needed a robot man, the Flash.
Man.
Did you see Justice League?
Yeah. What a piece of shit that was. What's funny is like somehow the Marvel movies got away with it for so long, right?
Yeah.
Where they were like kind of all like the exact same movie, but then they were funny enough, and the stars were big enough and talented enough, and then the DC felt always very rushed when they were trying to copy what the Marvel was doing, and
they were trying to be darker and more serious, and
yeah,
it didn't work.
It never quite clicked the same way,
Yeah.
And then now, since then, I feel like Marvel's gotten exposed, and they're like none of the Marvel movies have been well received in like 10 years.
Yeah, I think after Avengers Endgame or whatever, it's kind of like, all right.
That was the end. You told us. Endgame.
Yeah.
It's the end of the game.
Duh.
Why are you still playing?
Spoiler alert.
Yes. I don't know.
Are you gonna not see Superman in the theater?
You know what? I'll go with you. When does it come out?
June or July?
Oh, no. Probably not.
It'll only be there for about a month, probably.
Well, that's the thing. Is then like I was gonna go see the movie that won Best Picture was playing at this movie theater.
Yeah.
And it's already out on Hulu.
Yep. Yeah. That's the thing, is you can buy it too soon. I forgot what movie I bought on iTunes because when it came out, and I was like, oh, I can own it. And then a week later, it came out on Peacock, and I was like, all that does is train me to just not buy or rent movies.
I haven't. Heidi is the only one who rents. She rents them all on Amazon too, and then we never finish it. Never. If she rents it, we never finish it. If we buy it, we never watch it.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Doesn't matter. We gotta go.
All right. Yeah, let's get to post-show banter.
Post-show banter.
Where are you gonna be?
Oh well. So I'll be in Lincoln City at the Chinook Winds Casino, April 4th and 5th. Yeah, so come check out those shows if you want to hang out on the coast. And then Hood River, April 12th at a place. Look on my website, you'll find it.
All right. April 18th, I'll be at Venture Brew in Wauwatosa. Venture Brew Company. Yeah. All right.
Okay. I just love when you give your dates. It's like you're just hearing of this for the first time. Then
maybe. Oh, there's a bit of time before that. So
coffee shop.
It's a brewery.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to
the Cavalry.